How's it going, everybody? I'm the BTC Reaper. My goal on this channel is to teach you how to reap the rewards of trading with the price that's going up or down. Over on total for the daily, we are seeing a bit of a push forward. We did reject our EMA though, so this is a long upper shadow candle. If followed by a red candle, we could see a further sell-off, so I would exercise caution. However, if followed by a strong green candle, we could create a rounding bottom that could push us forward. Our VWAP is favoring bearish, momentum is pushing down, money flow is bearish, our stochastic is dropping, and RSI is pulling back. So overall, I would exercise caution. Over on the 4 hour, we are seeing a rounding top rejecting that blue EMA. We need to hold above this green EMA, which we're currently trying to break if we're going to continue forward. If we continue to break this green EMA, it's likely we would continue a bearish trend. Stochastic does want to round, RSI is pulling back, our VWAP is trying to round, momentum is rounding, and money flow is pulling back, so that does mean we could see our altcoins start to push down. Over on the 2 hour, we do have lower highs with lower lows, and they do not connect, so this is a bearish continuation. Stochastic is dropping, RSI is pulling back, momentum is rounding with a red dot, VWAP is breaking down, and money flow is starting to sell off. Over on the 1 hour, RSI is pulling back, stochastic is pushing down, overall pushing into bearish territory, momentum is breaking down, VWAP is favoring bearish with lower lows and lower highs, so I would watch as that momentum continues to drop and VWAP continues to favor bearish. We will see money flow weaken, and that will bring price action lower. So over on Bitcoin futures, we don't have any action. So we will jump over to Bitcoin. Futures is closed, so it's dominant. Dominance is open. Dixie is closed as well. Dominance did decrease as Bitcoin decreased. Total went up, so that's why dominance is decreasing today. RSI is pulling back, stochastic is selling off. VWAP is pushing down. Momentum is falling, and money flow is bearish. We also did mention that decrease could happen yesterday, so hopefully you're not shocked by that. Over on the 4 hour here, we are seeing price action roll away. I would watch for another lower high with lower lows. Stochastic does want to round. RSI is pulling back. VWAP did get higher high, but I would watch for a break to the bearish side. If that VWAP breaks bearish, momentum will continue to round away, favoring bearish, and money flow will remain in the red. That would weaken our higher time frames and continue to drop us. Over on the 2 hour, we do want to reject EMAs, so we are struggling with our EMAs here. Our stochastic is dropping, VWAP is pushing down, momentum is dropping, money flow is weakening. Overall, we do look like we are continuing lower. If we do see a lower low here, we could reject our double bottom possibility to push us to 82K. However, if we do get a higher low here and continue with higher highs, we could continue further, then we need to break that 57K. So over on the 1 hour, our VWAP is favoring bearish, so I would watch. That does give us a higher probability of breaking lower. VWAP does have lower lows with lower highs. Momentum is breaking down. Money flow does want to reject that neutral. So if our VWAP stays under neutral here, momentum will continue lower. Money flow will reject, and we will see lower lows. However, if that VWAP does break above that neutral, and we do see it hold above neutral like it did with this wave back here, then we could see another run up like we saw back here. So watch that VWAP very close. Watch for a rejection. If you get the rejection, that's where you're going to see that bearish turn. Over on graph for the daily, we are pushing down toward a Fibonacci support area. We did bounce off of it. It is that 12641. RSI is starting to weaken. Stochastic is pulling back. VWAP is favoring bearish, bringing momentum lower and causing money flow to sell off. So watch that VWAP on lower time frames. If it reverses and goes bullish, we could see a reversal here, but if that VWAP continues to favor bearish, we will see this weaken and continue to drop. Over on the 4 hour, we do have those lower highs with lower lows. They may start to connect, so I would watch very close. If we don't get a break below this Fibonacci level, we may see a run up. Our VWAP does want to round away, stochastic is starting to pull back. RSI is dropping due to stochastic rounding, so watch that close. That could bring price action lower. Our VWAP does want to break bearish, momentum is rounding, money flow is starting to push away, so overall I would watch very close. Over on our 2 hour, we do have a manipulation X that does want to break us down, so watch that close. We did fill a gap to the downside. We do want to see a push forward here if we're going to get bullish continuation. If we see higher lows with higher highs from here, we could continue further. We would push to that 14,316. However, if we continue below our EMAs here, it's likely we would see that push down toward that 1250 again. And if we do not hold that, that's where we could see that further drop to around that 11,057. Our stochastic is pulling back, RSI is selling off, momentum is rounding, VWAP is breaking down, and money flow is starting to pull back. Watch that VWAP close. If that VWAP continues to favor bearish here, momentum will curl away, and money flow will continue to favor bearish. That would weaken our higher time frames. Over on the 1 hour, we do have a gap to the downside, so right at that 13,028. We did wick down to fill it, but a candle body fill is better because that's more solid. A wick is just like a gap. You do tend to fill them. Momentum does want to round away. Our VWAP has lower lows with lower highs, so watch that close. If we do not get a strong bounce after filling that gap properly, then we could continue lower. Stochastic does want to pull back, and RSI is starting to weaken, so watch that VWAP close. If it continues this bearish trend, we could end up breaking down. Over on the 1 hour for Ankr, we did see a bit of a push down overall. We did try to break toward that 2020 yesterday. We did not manage to break down, but we did not manage to break our EMA today either. We're pretty much nowhere to be found with an indecision candle, so I would watch very close. If followed by a strong green candle, we could push up, but if followed by a red candle, that could show the bears are not done, and we could revisit that 2020 area and revisit where these wicks are. RSI does want to pull back, stochastic is pushing down, VWAP is favoring bearish, momentum is dropping, and money flow is pulling back. So overall, I would exercise caution. Over on the 4 hour. We do have lower highs with lower lows, so that is bringing us lower. We do have a gap to the upside though, so remember that does set us up to fill to an upside area later. So if we do continue down and we do continue to 2020, that gives us a range right around this 2218 to bounce back and retest, at which point if we can hold, we could continue further from. Our stochastic does want to round here. We do have orange above blue, RSI is pulling back. VWAP does want to break neutral, momentum is rounding with a red dot, and money flow is starting to pull back. Over on our 2 hours, stochastic is dropping away, our VWAP is pulling back, momentum is dropping, money flow is favoring bearish. Overall, this could continue to drop us down if that VWAP does not reverse. Over on our 1 hour, VWAP is favoring bearish, momentum is dropping as a result, bringing money flow lower, stochastic is dropping, and RSI is weakening. So over on XRP for the daily, we are continuing below our 54. We do have a long lower shadow, or a long upper shadow, sorry. We have this long upper. Again, if we do not see a strong green candle next, we will continue lower, and that will show we do have more indecision and more bearish momentum. However, if we do see a strong green candle and we break and hold above that 54 next, then we could push forward. We need to hold above that 300 EMA as well. If we can hold above both those resistances, then we can revisit 57, oops, sorry about that, and then we could test further higher resistance areas. Our VWAP does have higher lows, as positive momentum is dropping, money flow is pulling back, stochastic is selling off, and RSI is starting to drop. Over on our 4 hour, we do have lower highs with lower lows, so I would watch that close. Stochastic does want to round away, sorry about that. RSI is pulling back, VWAP is rounding, momentum does want to round, and money flow is selling off. Watch that VWAP. If it breaks that neutral, we likely could continue lower. Over on the 2 hour, we do have those lower highs and lower lows. VWAP is breaking bearish, bringing momentum with it, so watch very close as money flow does want to follow. Stochastic is dropping with orange above blue, bringing RSI lower, and price will continue to drop if that VWAP and stochastic continue to drop here. Over on the 1 hour, our VWAP has lower lows with lower highs, so I would watch as it is bringing momentum through that bearish territory and causing money flow to go from barely green back into the red. So I would watch. That does represent we have more selling pressure than buying pressure, and we can see the bears gain control here. Finally, if there are no other requests, we have ALGO. So we did try to push forward from our descending channel, unlike the rest of the market. We will delete this though because the rest of the market does look sketchy. So we do want to push forward. Again, watch for a strong green candle to finish that rounding bottom. We have not confirmed it yet. RSI wants to push up, stochastic is pulling back. VWAP does want to break neutral, momentum wants to push up, and money flow is bearish overall. But if that VWAP can break bullish and hold, we could see momentum push money flow up. So watch those lower time frames. They need to stay bullish. Over on the 4-hour, our green EMA did break that blue EMA, and we are trying to push forward. If we can solidify this bounce by seeing a strong green candle next, we could continue further up, and that would be positive because we would push back into our EMA band, giving us the possibility to get those lower EMAs above these higher EMAs for more bullish momentum and bullish control. Our stochastic does want to round. We do have orange above blue. RSI is falling back. VWAP is pushing down. Momentum is rounding. And money flow is starting to pull back. So I would watch that VWAP. Over on the 2-hour, it is breaking into the bearish territory. So if that VWAP continues to push down here, we likely will see momentum push, money flow lower, and money flow is red. So we could continue to drop. Watch for a lower low. If we see a lower low, we could continue our bearish continuation here. Over on the 1-hour, we did hit that 250 EMA and we got rejected. Our momentum is breaking down. Stochastic is pushing down as well. RSI is weakening. That VWAP has lower lows and lower highs, so we do have a bearish trend there, bringing that momentum and money flow lower. If that bearish trend does not reverse, we will continue to drop lower and we will see a bit of a rounding top. The positive note on that is we do have a gap right here. So if we do drop from this area, we do have a gap up to fill. We also have this gap down to fill as well at that 1169. So we could drop to 1169. If we bounce there, then we could jump back up to this 1214. That may be the trade, not financial advice. Have a great night. I appreciate all of you. Thanks for watching.